When you think of Arizona, your mind probably jumps to the Grand Canyon, Scottsdale resorts, or maybe the red rocks of Sedona. But what if I told you that scattered across this sun-scorched landscape lie the skeletal remains of dozens of forgotten communities? This isn't the Arizona you'll find in tourist brochures. It's the other side where mining booms went bust, where dreams turned to dust, and where time seems to have stood still. In this video, we're revealing 13 ghost towns in Arizona that most people never find, places where history whispers from crumbling walls and abandoned mine shafts. Stick around for number 1, because it's home to one of the most intact ghost town structures in all of Arizona, with a dark history that might just send shivers down your spine. If you love uncovering hidden history, hit that subscribe button now. Yeah, so let's jump right in and start the countdown. Number 13, Vulture City, Maricopa County. Tucked away in the Sonoran Desert about 12 miles southwest of Wickenburg lies Vulture City, once the site of Arizona's most productive gold mine. As you walk among the weathered buildings and rusted mining equipment, you can almost hear the echoes of pickaxes striking gold-rich quartz. Founded in 1863 when Henry Wickenburg discovered the Vulture mine, this town swelled to nearly 5,000 residents at its peak, complete with stores, saloons, and even a school. The mine itself produced over 340,000 ounces of gold, worth more than $10 million at the time, before closing in 1942. Today, you can explore the preserved structures including the assay office, mess hall, and the infamous hanging tree where 18 men were reportedly executed for high grading, stealing ore. The dusty streets and silent buildings stand as a testament to Arizona's gold rush fever, where fortunes were made and lost with the swing of a pickaxe. Walking through Vulture City feels like stepping into a time capsule of Arizona's mining heritage, where every weathered plank tells a story of grit and greed. Number 12, Swansea, La Paz County. Deep in the remote desert of western Arizona, near the banks of the Colorado River, lies the skeletal remains of Swansea, a once thriving copper mining town that's now a perfect time capsule of the American West. Founded in 1909 and named after the Welsh industrial city, Swansea was designed to be a model mining community, complete with electric lights, water systems, and even a theater. The town's copper smelter processed ore from nearby mines, and at its peak in the 1910s, Swansea boasted around 500 residents, 2 general stores, a post office, and numerous saloons. What makes Swansea particularly haunting today is its isolation. Getting there requires navigating 30 miles of rough dirt roads through Bureau of Land Management territory. When you finally arrive, you'll find remarkably preserved ruins, including the concrete foundations of the smelter, the railroad depot, and several residential buildings with walls still standing. The town's decline began in the 1920s when copper prices plummeted, and by 1937, Swansea was completely abandoned. Today, the silence is broken only by the desert wind whistling through empty doorways. I'm creating an eerie symphony that perfectly captures the solitude of this forgotten corner of Arizona. Number 11, Gleeson, Cochise County. Just 15 miles east of Tombstone lies Gleeson, a ghost town that tells the story of Arizona's boom and bust mining history through its weathered buildings and scattered artifacts. Originally called Turquoise, the town was established in the 1890s as a mining camp for turquoise deposits, but it was the discovery of copper in 1900 that transformed it into a proper town named after John Gleeson, who opened the first copper mine. At its peak around 1910, Gleeson housed about 500 residents, a general store, a hotel, a hospital, and even a baseball team. What remains today is a fascinating mix of ruins and restored structures, including the Gleeson Jail, a remarkably intact stone building that now serves as a museum. The jail's thick walls and iron-barred windows give visitors a tangible connection to the lawless days of frontier justice. As you wander through the scattered foundations and standing structures, you'll find mining equipment rusting in the sun and broken glass glittering in the dirt, remnants of lives interrupted by the fickle nature of mining fortunes. Gleeson closed its post office in 1939, but today, a few residents maintain the historic buildings, keeping the memory of this copper town alive for those adventurous enough to seek it out. Number 10, Congress, Yavapai County. Nestled in the rugged terrain of Yavapai County, Congress stands as a unique ghost town with a split personality, one part abandoned, one part living. Founded in the 1880s following the discovery of gold, Congress quickly grew into 2 separate towns. Milltown, where the ore was processed, and Lower Town, where residents lived and worked. At its peak in the 1890s, Congress was home to over 1,000 people and boasted all the amenities of a thriving mining community. The Congress mine produced millions in gold before operations ceased in the 1930s, leaving behind a landscape of mining equipment, abandoned buildings, and the memories of those who sought their fortunes in the Arizona desert. What makes Congress particularly fascinating today is its dual nature. While Lower Town still supports a small population, Middletown stands largely abandoned, with rusted machinery, crumbling foundations, and the atmospheric remains of the once bustling mining operation. Visitors can explore the weathered structures and imagine the cacophony of the stamp mill that once echoed through these hills, processing tons of gold ore. Congress represents that rare ghost town where the past and present coexist, offering a tangible glimpse into Arizona's mining heritage while still maintaining a living connection to the present. Number 9, Fairbank, Cochise County. Just west of Tombstone, along the banks of the San Pedro River, lies Fairbank, a ghost town that tells the story of Arizona's transportation history as much as its mining legacy. Established in 1881 as a railroad depot for the bustling silver mines of Tombstone, Fairbank was named after N.K. Fairbank, a Chicago investor who helped finance the railroad. At its height, the town served as the shipping point for millions of dollars in silver ore and was home to about 100 residents, a general store, a saloon, a hotel, and a schoolhouse. What makes Fairbank particularly special today is its status as a preserved historic site within the San Pedro Riparian National Conservation Area. The Bureau of Land Management has stabilized several key structures, including the schoolhouse, which now serves as a museum, and the commercial building with its distinctive false front. Walking through Fairbank today, you can almost hear the whistle of the New Mexico and Arizona Railroad that once connected this remote outpost to the wider world. The town declined after Tombstone's mines flooded in the 1880s and the railroad was rerouted in the early 1900s, but today, Fairbank stands as a well-preserved window into Arizona's territorial past, where the stories of transportation, mining, and settlement converge in the shadow of the Huachuca Mountains. Number 8, Ruby, Santa Cruz County. Tucked away in the remote hills of Santa Cruz County, near the Mexican border, lies Ruby, one of Arizona's best-preserved ghost towns and a true hidden gem that most visitors never discover. Originally a mining camp called Montana Camp, Ruby was renamed in 1912 when a mining company bought the property and established the Ruby Mercantile. The town's economy was built around the nearby Montana mine, which produced gold, silver, lead, zinc, and copper. At its peak in the 1930s, Ruby was home to about 1,200 people and featured a school, 2 general stores, a post office, and numerous homes. What makes Ruby exceptional today is its remarkable state of preservation. About 25 buildings still stand, including the school, the jail, the mine manager's house, and several residences. The town's remote location has protected it from vandalism and the elements, creating an almost movie-like ghost town experience. Ruby's mining operations ceased in 1940, and the town was completely abandoned by 1941. Today, visitors can explore the weathered buildings and peer into the schoolhouse where lessons were taught just decades ago, or peer into the jail cells that once held rowdy miners. The silence that now envelops Ruby is broken only by the whisper of the wind through the surrounding hills, a stark contrast to the bustling community that once thrived here in the pursuit of precious metals. If you're enjoying this journey through Arizona's forgotten places, hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing for more explorations of the other side of travel. We have a whole playlist of abandoned places and hidden histories that might just change the way you see the world around you. Now, let's keep going with our countdown. Number 7, Cochise, Cochise County. In the shadow of the Dos Cabezas Mountains, about 80 miles southeast of Tucson, lies the ghost town of Cochise, a once thriving railroad hub that's now a quiet reminder of Arizona's transportation history. Founded in the 1880s as a shipping point for local ranches and mines, Cochise became an important railroad junction when the Southern Pacific and Arizona and Southeastern railroads met there. The town was named after the famous Apache chief who had surrendered nearby years earlier, and at its peak around 1910, Cochise boasted several hotels, saloons, general stores, and a population of about 3,000. What remains today is a fascinating collection of historic buildings, including the Cochise Hotel, still standing with its distinctive Victorian architecture and rumored to be haunted by the ghost of a former guest. The town began its decline when the railroad was rerouted in the early 20th century, and by the 1950s, Cochise was largely abandoned. Today, a handful of residents still call Cochise home, maintaining the historic structures and preserving the town's unique character. Walking through Cochise feels like stepping into a Western movie set. Behind where the railroad tracks that once brought prosperity now stand as silent sentinels to a bygone era of steam engines and manifest destiny. Number 6, Goldfield, Pinal County. Nestled at the foot of the Superstition Mountains, Goldfield stands as one of Arizona's most accessible and well-preserved ghost towns, offering visitors a vivid glimpse into the state's mining heritage. Founded in 1893 when high-grade gold ore was discovered in the area, Goldfield quickly swelled to a bustling town of about 4,000 residents, complete with 3 saloons, a general store, a post office, a school, and a blacksmith shop. The town's prosperity was short-lived. By 1898, the mine shafts had flooded and the gold vein played out, leading to a rapid exodus of residents. What makes Goldfield special today is its partial restoration and operation as a tourist attraction, with many buildings reconstructed to their original appearance. Visitors can explore the Goldfield Museum, housed in the original general store, or take a ride on the narrow gauge railroad that circles the town. The nearby Superstition Mountains add to the atmospheric setting, their jagged peaks serving as a dramatic backdrop to this remnant of Arizona's gold rush fever. While some purists might criticize the commercial aspects of modern Goldfield, there's no denying that it offers one of the most immersive ghost town experiences in Arizona, where the history of the Old West comes alive through preserved structures and interpretive displays. Number 5, Pearce, Cochise County. In the high desert grasslands of Cochise County lies Pearce, a ghost town that tells the story of Arizona's silver boom through its weathered buildings and mining remnants. Founded in 1894 when Jim Pearce discovered a rich silver vein, the town quickly grew to support the Commonwealth Mine, which would eventually produce over $15 million worth of silver. At its peak around 1910, Pearce was home to about 1,500 residents and featured all the amenities of a thriving mining community, including a school, several hotels, numerous saloons, and even a newspaper. What makes Pearce particularly fascinating today is its blend of preserved historic structures and modern occupation. While some buildings stand as silent reminders of the town's mining past, others have been repurposed by artists and craftspeople who now call Pearce home. The town's decline began in the 1930s when silver prices plummeted, and the post office finally closed in 1956. Today, visitors can explore the historic Pearce store, built in 1896 and now operating as a museum, or wander among the remaining adobe and wood frame buildings that dot the landscape. The contrast between the abandoned structures and those still in use creates a unique atmosphere where the past and present coexist, offering a tangible connection to Arizona's mining heritage that's both authentic and accessible. Number 4. Oatman, Mojave County. Perched in the Black Mountains along historic Route 66, Oatman is a ghost town that refused to die. Founded in the early 1900s after gold discovery, it was named after Olive Oatman, a girl captured by Native Americans in the 1850s. At its 1916 peak, Oatman's mines produced over $40 million in gold, housing about 3,500 residents. What makes Oatman unique is its transformation into a tourist destination where wild burros roam streets and actors recreate daily gunfights. Though the main mine closed in 1924, Route 66 tourism brought revival in the 1930s to 1940s. Today, visitors explore the historic Oatman Hotel where Clark Gable and Carol Lombard reportedly honeymooned. While commercialized, Oatman offers one of Arizona's most engaging ghost town experiences, where the Old West spirit lives on in dusty streets and weathered buildings of this remarkable survivor. Number 3, Congress Junction, Yavapai County. Deep in the heart of Yavapai County, where the desert landscape meets rugged mountains, lies Congress Junction, a ghost town that tells the story of Arizona's transportation history through its abandoned buildings and silent railroad tracks. Originally established as a water stop for the Santa Fe Railroad in the late 19th century, Congress Junction served as a vital link between the mining town of Congress and the broader railroad network. The small community featured a depot, water tower, section house, and a few residences to support the railroad operations. What makes Congress Junction particularly haunting today is its state of abandonment. The railroad tracks have been removed, and only a handful of weathered buildings remain, slowly being reclaimed by the desert. The town's decline began in the mid-20th century when diesel locomotives replaced steam engines, eliminating the need for water stops, and the railroad eventually abandoned the line entirely. Today, Congress Junction stands as a silent testament to the critical role that railroads played in Arizona's development, where the ghosts of steam engines and railroad workers seem to linger in the empty spaces between the remaining structures. For those who seek out this forgotten outpost, Congress Junction offers a poignant reminder of how technological progress can render once vital communities obsolete, leaving behind only memories and weathered buildings. Number 2, Jerome, Yavapai County. Clinging to Cleopatra Hill's steep slopes, Jerome stands as Arizona's most famous ghost town, though it's now a vibrant artist colony. Founded in 1876, Jerome grew into one of Arizona's largest cities thanks to rich copper deposits. At its peak in the 1920s, Jerome housed about 15,000 residents with businesses, schools, hospitals, and a notorious red light district called Jerome's Cribs. The town's decline began in the 1930s when copper prices plummeted, and by 1953, with mines closed, the population dwindled to fewer than 100. Today, Jerome is a National Historic Landmark where visitors can explore the Jerome State Historic Park in the former Douglas Mansion or wander steep streets where historic buildings defy gravity. Though more living town than ghost town, Jerome's rich mining heritage and atmospheric setting make it essential for Arizona ghost town enthusiasts. Number 1, Tombstone, Cochise County. If any town earns the top spot for atmosphere, preservation, and sheer Old West legend, it's Tombstone. Founded in 1879 after Ed Schieffelin struck silver, the town exploded into one of the Southwest's richest mining camps. Within a few years, its population topped 7,000. Tents gave way to brick buildings. Saloons lined Allen Street. Newspapers chronicled fortunes made and lives lost. By the early 1880s, Tombstone had schools, churches, an opera house, and thriving gambling halls. Silver fueled its rapid rise, but tensions simmered beneath the prosperity. Lawmen and outlaws shared the same dusty streets, and order often felt uncertain. The 1881 gunfight at the OK Corral cemented Tombstone's place in American legend. In just 30 seconds, the clash involving Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday became one of the West's most retold stories. Nearby, the Birdcage Theater operated day and night, adding to the town's larger-than-life reputation. When the mines flooded and silver prices dropped, decline followed. Yet, Tombstone endured. Today, preserved streets and historic buildings offer an immersive step back in time. Here, history doesn't fade. It lingers. And there you have it. 13 ghost towns in Arizona that most people never find, each with its own story of boom and bust, dreams and disappointments. From mining camps to railroad towns, these ghost towns offer a tangible connection to Arizona's rich history. Which one surprised you most? Was it the remarkably preserved buildings of Ruby, or perhaps the haunting silence of Congress Junction? Let us know in the comments below. We love hearing about your ghost town adventures. If we missed your favorite Arizona ghost town, drop a comment and let us know. Don't forget to check out our playlist of other abandoned places across the American West. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more explorations of the other side of travel, and ring that notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video as we continue to uncover hidden histories.